everyone, and welcome to Trivial. It's your bar trivia night in a podcast, and we're covering pop culture, sports, current events, and everything else in the form of trivia questions.
That's right, Josh. Each week we hit you with 5 topics, and here's the catch. None of us know the answers ahead of time.
Not us, not our guests, not even you. So we're all in it together. We'll throw out our best guesses, debate a bit, probably embarrass ourselves before revealing the correct answers.
And if any of us cheat, we will have to go to Wikipedia and type in the Rizzler and finally learn who he is.
I mean, he's got that Riz, and I am concerned about what happens to that child when he grows up, but
I should say
all the follows.
Yeah, and I shouldn't say I don't know who he is. I don't know what he is.
How, why, what? Yeah, I got nothing.
I know
but
he's
yes,
a child. I know
the
his
Rizzler
face.
can play along. Yeah.
And I know he has a dad that says, boom.
Yes, there is a father who is the catalyst to his future trauma, for sure. We are fortunate to have Ton Johnson with us. Ton, thanks for coming out.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. I don't know who the Rizzler is. I don't know if am I too old to say Riz? I think I am.
feel like it's like I'm not allowed to even say his name. I'm too old to say that.
I
In
think it's
mid-30s, I
only
think I can.
boomer if you're like calling someone else the Rizzler. There is only one Rizzler.
Yeah.
You're allowed to use Riz. I think it's try sliding it into conversation, see what happens.
Okay, so Ton, you don't know who he is either. I thought maybe that you two were going to make fun of me when I said that. Josh, do you know about him?
Only that he's really got the Riz online. It's blown up real fast. Like it just like kind of snuck up quick, and he's got like 9 million followers or something. I don't know. It's just like not knowing what a Kardashian is at this point. So I'm just trying to get ahead of the curve on something for once.
Good for him.
Yeah. So you
Yeah.
like our new Macaulay Culkin?
No, more like the kid in the Jumbotron who just makes a weird face, but we're like making a meme into a movement now, and you know.
So
Do what
more
you
than
want with
That's a
15,
great
right?
book title. Making a meme into a movement.
Yeah.
Yes.
If I
Yes.
take that, I'm not giving you credit.
I
No,
can
that's
see
fine.
that on an
I
airport shelf.
guarantee you could be number one on like one of the Amazon verticals without having to do more than like write 12 pages.
It'd be number one on Tubi.
Yeah. I was gonna say, Todd,
Oh.
do you actually play trivia? Do you ever go like to Will's Northwoods in Chicago, or?
No, I don't have enough white friends to go play trivia on the North. I'm just kidding. I've been to a couple trivia nights, and you know, it depends on the subject. You know, there was like music trivia, and I'm surprised at actually how much I did know.
Mhm.
And then probably the worst trivia that I've ever done. It was like what's like this urban trivia night, and I had the whole room looking. People were shouting out answers. I was the only person in the room who apparently didn't know that you're supposed to make Kool-Aid with cold water instead of hot. So I was on the south side of Chicago. Whole room just, who said that? And I was like, yeah, who said that?
Wait, that you were that you're supposed to make Kool-Aid with cold water?
Cold water. Now me, I grew up making it with hot water because in Milwaukee there was a cryptosporidium scare in the water. You know, in the early 1990s. So everyone was like, boil your water before you do anything with it. So me, like, I was making scalding hot Kool-Aid, and I never stopped. And then putting it in the fridge.
Yeah.
Like, we'll get this later.
Which I
Everyone
think
else in
tracks
the
for
room was
Jello.
like,
Yeah.
everyone else in the room was like, where are he from? And I was like, I'm from Wisconsin.
That's like that card game, Ton. Have you ever seen? I think it's called Black Card. That
Yeah,
your
I
trivia
have.
sounds like that. Like you could lose it at any moment.
It was basically that, except in a format where everybody was like responding to a QR and it was going up on the screen, and I was the only
Yeah.
one who got the Kool-Aid question wrong. So the host was like, "Who said that?" Now it was me.
That's a pretty specific. What was the thing that you were boiling out of the water? What was the scare?
Cryptosporidium. I think that's how you say it. It was like a little
It was a pre-PFAS kind of scare.
microscopic, God knows what. That was somehow in Milwaukee's water circa, I don't know, this is like 1995 or something like that.
Does Milwaukee have clean water now?
Yes, Milwaukee has clean water now.
We did it.
This is a long time ago. No bugs in the water now. Milwaukee, drink up. Water for once.
Yeah, yeah.
Water.
Except after like Bucks and Six, and people are all jumping in and throwing
And
kegs
don't
in.
even get me started on the Bucks right now.
Sorry. Tough subject. We'll get into sports, but let's actually jump into the first question. Did either of you guys check out the new Marvel movie, The Thunderbolts, yet?
I haven't seen it.
I haven't
Okay.
either, and this is unlike me. I want to put this out here right in front and center. So, Ton, typically, like, there's going to be a lot of current events that come up in this trivia throughout our questions. I think we do our 5 questions, but I was in Canada all of last week, so I feel like I haven't heard anything that has happened in the United States the past week. So, like, I'm at a loss. So I didn't get to see the Thunderbolts, and I'm usually there opening weekend for Marvel.
Yeah, I'm
Just
a
haven't
sucker.
seen it yet,
Yeah.
I haven't seen
but I
it.
will. That's one
Okay.
of those I got to go by myself movies as far as me and the missus. But
Same.
I just want to go alone because I don't want people talking through it, but that's my thing. I feel compelled, like the inner 7-year-old in me has to get to a Marvel movie the second I know it is available. I
of
can't
course,
make it more than about like 2 days. The first question is, what character originally founded the Thunderbolts team in the comics?
Thunderbolt Ross.
That's going to be my guess too.
That makes a lot of sense. I don't want to do any spoilers on the movie, even though they're already like spoiling it with all the marketing or whatever. But um, Thunderbolt Ross, good pull, and you just saw him as Harrison Ford. Indiana Jones just did his thing with Sam Wilson. But like the main person in this one is Allegra de la Flonais or something, and it's just like Julia Louis Dreyfus
Yeah,
is like
yeah.
the founder this time. So I think you're right that it's definitely not that character. And the fact that his nickname is Thunderbolt Ross was
Right.
exactly where I was going to go with it too.
What's Julia Lee Dreyfus's character's name?
Contessa
Valentina,
Allegra.
The one that you said. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Cruella de
How could I
Marvel.
forget? Because she's played such an important part up until now.
Well,
Fanta
she's
Dolce
like
Wanda.
evil Nick Fury. They like been making her out to be this conniving something, but we don't actually know why.
Yeah.
Other than the Adventures of Christine is no longer on air, and she had to do something.
Would pay for the outtakes of like maybe her character meeting Sam Jackson's Nick Fury. Oh, so you got your own Avengers now? That's pretty cool. I bet they can't beat mine.
Let's find out. It is not Thunderbolt Ross. It was Baron Zemo. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, finding Zemo. All right.
the guy that caused all the problems in Civil War.
Yeah, him.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He has like a weird, like purple ski mask, or like lives in a castle because he's named Baron in the comics. But yeah, he was just a dude.
I wasn't a comic book reader. I feel like everything that I know about Marvel was from the cartoons growing up.
Mhm.
Like, and I feel like I
Or
got a
some good
lot.
arcade games.
Yeah, or that too. Maybe like games and the cartoons, but I didn't get into the comic books. I was more of a DC reader.
I was a comic head. I had a lot of Marvel comics. I like DC more as an
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Of
Was that your favorite?
yeah. I thought Gambit was like
course.
Gambit was really
It's our
cool.
guy.
it's such a dumb superpower the way he applied it. Like, yo, I got a deck of cards, right? And when I touch it and throw it at something, it blows up. Like, I mean, I know, like, the whole thing was he could put like kinetic energy in anything, but I'm like, you can't even. Have you ever tried to throw a playing card hard at something?
Yeah, it's difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very
I'm not,
difficult.
I could barely cut a piece of paper with that, or I don't know, like with full force velocity. But
Is Gambit, is he
need ammo.
actually using like real, like, is he just like, I'm buying a pack of playing cards, dispensing these, and then are they like some kind of like special card?
I need to know how much money he spends on playing cards
Yeah,
because
he's getting
that's all he's doing,
Costco
throwing cards.
bicycle playing cards, just like
Yeah.
a grip of them.
He must be
He
getting
needs a deal if
subsidized
he
by
doesn't have it.
Xavier.
The comic book I got into back in the day was Age of Apocalypse. I think it was just like right when I was coming into having enough allowance money. And
Mhm.
I always thought it'd be funny to have like some off Broadway like hair rendition of like the Age of Apocalypse instead of Age of Aquarius. And that just shows my That's the
I
Bros of
gotcha.
Broadway here on the thread, trying to make that happen. So moving on to sports, because we nerded out enough. Shadeur Sanders received a prank call during the NFL draft. Did y'all hear about this?
I did.
Yeah, that.
Okay. Yeah, that is a low blow. And yeah, he already fell into the fifth round. That's enough to deal with. But the question is, which general manager was the caller impersonating?
Want to say he was with the Falcons.
Well,
I
you got a
don't
1
know
in
the
32
guy's name.
chance. It's pretty good. So I know, and this isn't the question, that he's actually the son of the head coach of the Falcons, Jeff Elbrook, I believe. And they fined him $100,000 for his kid's misdemeanor, which
Wow.
is, I don't know how you would discipline your child if you just like had some stuff on your office desk and yeah.
That's so mean.
Yeah.
I
It
didn't
shows
watch
that
the.
boys will be assholes. That's eternal.
I don't know. I don't know which team it was. I don't know
Okay.
which general manager.
I'm in. I again, Quiz Liz does all these questions. I don't know what's going on, nothing else, but I believe pretty confidently that it was the Saints because they were on the clock, and then he said something like, "Oh, you got to wait a little longer" or something. You suck, and then hung up. So, yes, it was Mickey Loomis of the New Orleans Saints.
Mickey Loomis, of course.
Of course,
Colin, there's
classic.
a running bit on this show that I'm dead weight during the sports question. I
I
just
mean, I wasn't helpful for this one either.
No, you were listening. You just you caught on to the who was the Scrooge father, not the impersonation. That's not
yeah,
that.
Yeah, and
no
I
more than I
remember
did.
reading about the story. He went to, so he's going to Cleveland. I know,
Yep.
Shadeur.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that should work out.
Yeah, it always does there. We'll do a follow-up sports here for the Kentucky Derby because I know everyone
Fantastic.
closely follows horse racing here as well. The Derby is one race of the Triple Crown. So the question is, what is the second race in the series called?
Okay.
Think about horse racing. The second race is called the Glue Truck Invitational.
Oh, I think that's the final one.
Oh, okay.
That's the losers bracket. I was gonna say like getting preaky is definitely a thing. So maybe that's the third one, or it could be. Um,
Because what's the other one?
the Daytona 500. I don't know. So
Is Belmont part of the
yes,
Belmont Stakes? Did I make that up?
I believe we are deciding between Preakness and Belmont.
I have
Those are
gone.
the ones.
Yeah, I've gone to a Kentucky Derby party. Shout out Jalissa, her and her fiance throw Kentucky Derby parties in LA. I've
Mhm.
gone to it. Didn't realize it was something that lasts like a minute because I never watched it before. Like you get
Yeah.
together for a party and then it's just like it's over. They don't do laps.
Yeah,
So
I mean, it's a whole lot of mint julep and seersuckers for 90 seconds or less.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't think you do as many parties for the second one, but that is called the Belmont Stakes. I'm gonna give that to you. You did
Yeah,
one.
you can give it to
You
me.
did a sports
Sure.
question. Yeah, I would have gone Preakness. So yeah, that's
stealing, getting freaky with it. That is great.
you want to get preaky for sure.
You gonna get
You
freaky
can't say
with it?
Riz,
Yeah.
but you can say preaky, and you can own
I
it.
can say freaky. That
Freaky
feels old.
Freaky sounds like horse sex to me.
Getting creaky and preaky tonight.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
don't want to open up a can of worms here, but on the topic of the Kentucky Derby and sports, I just it's a sport. We're saying,
It's a sport for the horses.
well, that's the part of it that I've always had trouble with, like calling like Seabiscuit an athlete.
Well, you have a very tiny Toby Maguire, he's the athlete who has to ride the horse.
I guess like I think of an athlete as like someone or some maybe if it is an animal, like they know what they're doing. Like, does the horse know that they are competing?
Maybe they get rewarded more. Maybe there's some positive conditioning to the number of oats, per placement.
I'm
But
sure that
yeah,
the
they don't care
horse,
about that purse.
right? The horse understands that the jockey is saying like, "Go fast, like keep going
Yeah.
fast." But
They
does the
understand
horse?
because of the pain that they are pressuring them to do to keep moving forward until it stops.
Sure, but
Yeah.
here's my question: do the horses understand that like I need to like beat this horse? I need to run faster than this horse next to me.
Got it. So beyond sentience, do they like have a competitive edge? And
Are
some
they
some horses got that dog in them.
are they competing in their mind?
Uh-huh.
Like
I don't think they do. That
I don't think they do either.
yeah. It's kind of like, all right, if I run, I think it is more, it is, training animals. Oh, boy, like if I do this thing right, I'll get more, I don't know, sugar cubes or whatever horses like. I don't think they know they're competing. It's like one of those philosophical, animal neurology questions, like, are lobsters suffering? Like when people had that debate, or
Uh-huh.
can 100 people beat a gorilla? Never mind.
Yeah.
How
That could be the
many?
next 20 minutes if you want to talk about it. But I will
No,
say, I
Yeah,
I
think the
don't.
lobsters are feeling it. They just can't
Yeah,
communicate.
you think 100
yeah, I
guys
think so too. I
could
think
kill
so
a
too.
horse?
Oh yeah.
Probably. I bet 10 guys couldn't.
Wasn't there was a weed question that I got one time. I call it a weed question because there's no other way anyone could ever have this thought. Was it, would you rather fight 10 duck-sized
Oh, yeah.
horses or one horse-sized duck? I think it
Mm-hmm.
was.
Yep. That's the classic Reddit question for an AMA, for
I was
sure.
like, do you know how terrifying a horse-sized duck would be? Ducks are mean.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather fight that though.
So that's the thing. I think everyone ultimately leans on that because you have one enemy in front of you and it's not going to be easy. But the swarm, I think it's supposed to be more like 100 because 10 ducks or 10 little horses you can just kick around. But
Mm.
100, that's a little stampede. That's like fighting kindergartners or anything else of like just the sheer mass and then tiring out. Like if you've ever tried boxing for one whole round, try going 7, now try going 100
Yeah.
with, yeah.
I have boxed for several rounds. Yes, it
Mhm.
is very tiring,
Yeah.
which is why
And
Harambe would not win if 100.
yeah.
It's very hard to not go there. Everyone's tired.
I think we've
Listen, if
brought
it's
up
WrestleMania and you just have like one guy with entrance music every single time, I
Yeah,
think it it would get very frustrating. It would get very hard, but like you got to think that people who don't have the tenacity to actually throw themselves at this problem when they've just seen other people rip limb from limb. I think that there's just more of a psychology part of the question. And now
yeah,
we're in the debate. Now we're talking about this damn
now
gorilla.
we're in it.
Yeah.
yeah. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that.
Oh, it's okay. But we will transfer over to the shots round,
Hey,
which
the
everybody
shots
loves.
round.
Yeah. Just like at a real trivia night, this is a chance to shout out the answer in the comments. And if you're right, you just might win something special.
So, Todd, we actually don't get to answer this question. We're not going to give a guess to it. And also, Josh, do we need to give the answer from last week?
We do. Good call. Yes. It is a very
We're
easy
going to get
question.
this part right.
With tariffs, what was the percentage change in price for, of course, an acrylic 3-tier ladder display stand from Shein. And that was 42%. The price going from 288 to 409. Again, you had a 1 in 100 chance. So if you're putting yourself in the comments there, could have gotten something good there. And this week, because Ton and I met on the road with our dear mutual friend Charlie Barons, we will be giving away some stuff from Barons Old Fashioned Brandy. Yeah.
Barron's Old Fashioned Brandy.
Yes. Only available for sale in Wisconsin. Thus, we will not be crossing state lines for our comments. We will just send some really cool merch, most likely, if you can answer this question, which is off the last one. How many mint juleps are served at the Kentucky Derby each year? And if you want to guess, Tom, I mean, I think this is one of those that you're not giving anything away.
I'm not even sure what a mint julep is.
Really?
I am remarkably uncultured. I'm starting to see that. Like, I don't know about mint juleps.
Maybe
I
it's
don't
just you
even
like
know.
sipping straight booze, and it's the mint
You
julep's too
said the
sweet for you.
tariffs. You said the tariffs raised the price of a what last week?
Exactly. Don't worry. It was just what Quiz Liz found off of.
Yeah, I was like that.
Yeah.
That is a homeowner question. I don't have these kind of problems.
We got a science question to move on with a Dung Cam. I don't know if you saw, but the BBC created a Dung Cam to
I
roll
did
around and
see
capture footage
this.
of elephants. You saw this?
I saw like a brief clip of it on X.com.
Question: what country has the largest population of elephants?
I'm gonna go Democratic Republic of the Congo.
Okay.
I feel like this is a trick question. I'm gonna go with India.
Yeah. Maybe it's
There's no way this
Greenland.
one.
That's why we want it now. Um, Kenya. It's bigger. Yeah.
Your guesses are better.
We're going for stabs here. I don't know. Largest population of elephants, but also maybe it's not populated that much by people, right? Maybe this is one of those spots that just has a whole lot of nature reserve, and we don't hear about it much.
Gary, Indiana.
Mm. Yeah.
Place with a lot of elephants and not a lot of people.
Mayor Pete just overseeing, everyone in Gary, Indiana, all the elephants there.
And so much trunk space.
Okay, we were never going to get this
Yes.
one.
No.
Yes. Trunk
Stupid.
space. Yes.
I like that.
I'm proud of you.
I see.
It's so dumb.
You guys know about Trunk Club? You ever used Trunk Club? It was
Trunk
based in
Club.
Chicago. They would send you a trunk
Yeah.
of clothes, and you try them on, and you're like, cool, this works. I'll keep it. You send everything else back. And it was
This was like 2010, like way
yeah,
back,
I would
right?
say like 2012, 2013. I started using it when I started being able to afford anything that wasn't from like Old Navy, and then upgraded to a couple nice Henleys or something. Trunk Club. R.I.P. I
Good to know.
guess. No.
I'll look
Well,
that up.
the elephants would love to send something via Trunk Club to Botswana.
Botswana.
Yeah,
Swana is where they're at.
of course. Don't we all think first of Botswana? Okay, current events to the Canadian election, where maybe this is something that Alan knows from his quick little visit
Hey,
there.
people were talking about this in hockey.
People be talking. Okay. Well, maybe you know this then. But basically, conservatives are losing big internationally. They did in Canada and now in Australia. And there was a major upset up north. The Liberal candidate won after being down initially 24% in the polls. So, question. What phrase is used in Canada to signify the start of the election period?
What?
Let's get ready to vote now. Yeah.
Keep her moving, and you'll keep her moving with the Barron's brand brandy.
There you go. There you go. Okay, it's time for a couple 2-3 votes there. Make sure to stop by,
When I was up there, they're pretty fed up with us. It turns out.
Ish. Yeah.
They everywhere I went, they had shirts and hats in the style of "Make America Great Again" that said "Canada is not for sale."
Mm.
And when I mentioned I was an American, people were just like they got a little icy.
Yeah.
Like, good luck with that. Well,
Yeah.
we know Canada's not for sale. That's because we're going to take it. We didn't ask if we could buy it. The GOAT, my GOAT, number 47, that's what he's going to do. He's going to take it. It's 47.
Yeah.
Are we up to 47? Thank you.
47. Yeah.
Thank you. Civics was a long time ago. Anyway, yeah, the GOAT, we're going to take it. We're not going to buy it. We're not writing checks around here.
Okay, well, let me ask you
He
this,
starts
Tom.
shooting in the air.
Let me ask you about this. If Canada becomes the 51st state, we got to actually process the fact that this is a country with many territories. So does that mean we have sub-states? Like, this is a 51st through 59th. We can make it a clean 10-state grab and get like a nice 60 states. But then, yeah, because otherwise you're just going to have 2 representatives for something 5,000 times the size of Rhode Island, right? So, like, I think Canada just takes one for the team. and gets with the program, and then we terraform this whole country and then turn it back around whenever we want.
I think I got some Canadian money in my wallet. Look at this.
They even got like nice. Yeah, that looks a little better than our usual green. It's colorful.
Fuck is that?
Seems harder to
Yeah,
counterfeit.
why do we? Yeah, we have colorful money now too, though. Like, everything used
A
to
little,
hundreds of.
little sprinkles or something.
Just for the people. There's an astronaut in the back. Does Canada have a space program?
I imagine so.
America does. The world does. Canada's a lot. I don't know. See, this is the thing. We just kind of like made our, stepbrother mad. Our first cousin over there. He's just like,
Oh, jeez.
I
Oh,
know. It's just gonna be
They
a
got
real weird little cookout.
they got
so
nothing to worry about. When we take Canada, we're going to appoint Drake as governor. Between Canada and the U.S., Drake has the best relations. We appoint him governor. He will officially recover from the Kendrick beef
Yeah.
on an international stage.
Yes. The
I see nothing
Degrassi
but
Treaty of
positives.
2K25.
Like, this is a tremendous win. I see nothing but positives. You guys got to get with the program.
we just install him as like a puppet governor of one of the territories.
I haven't heard from Simu Liu at all speaking out about this. I think we got Ryan Reynolds as well. They got a nice little Mount Rushmore of ambassadors.
Looks like Drake, Ryan Reynolds, the guy who's really balling on the Oklahoma City Thunder. Sure, him. Why not?
Mike Myers.
Mike Myers. Yeah.
The
There's
murderer?
there are no Canadian celebrities I don't like. I think Jim Carrey's Canadian, isn't he?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they're a likable bunch. They really are. They're like a little bit of Aussie, a little bit of just super Wisconsin folk.
Yeah,
Just
it's kind of like finding
hard to
out
get
that
mad.
one of them is Canadian. It's like it's very hard to tell. It's like secret wars. Like they can just be among us, like
Yes, the
someone
Skrulls.
famous that you've known. Yeah,
Mhm.
for
American
your whole
Skrulls.
life. Find out that they're Canadian. It's not like, oh yeah, of course.
Well,
Guys,
circling back to the question at hand,
will you read it one more time, Josh, before?
You really think you're good? You throw out a phrase, please. What phrase is used in Canada to signify the start of their election period?
Maple, it's time to moose
Roll
out
out
the vote.
barrel. Yeah, yeah. No, this is tough. And then of course anybody from Canada would know the answer, maybe. But dropping the writ of election,
Mon
about
Dieu.
being dispersed, the parliamentary writings to the
That's
districts.
so much better than vote or die.
Yeah. Drop the mic. Drop the writ.
Drop the writ.
Well, I can't say we did terrific with those questions, but Ton, I did get some bonus questions that are specific for you as a fresh to Chicago man from Milwaukee.
Wait, did we just burn through all the questions?
That was 5 questions. Yeah.
Oh, no,
You
this is not a good
one.
showing.
You got one. We're doing okay.
Yeah.
They're never supposed to be like super easy.
Quiz Liz, my hat is off to you. You've done
Quiz
it
Liz
again.
every time.
You've beaten us again. We'll get you next time.
Is Quiz Liz a person or a thing that you guys have that gives questions?
This is our research director, Liz, who takes topics that she's...
Her name
Quiz
is
Liz. Okay, like I thought it was like, is it one word, Quiz Liz? I'm like, what app is this? Like,
The Rizzler?
Her name is Lizzie.
The Quizler?
Hi, Liz.
Well,
Have you
all
asked
right,
her
so
about
here's
it?
your Chicago lightning round, Ton. This is just for you, and if you don't know the answer, we'll just move on quick. But
Josh
what
wants me to shut
large
up.
body of water borders Chicago to the east?
Lake Michigan.
Yes, that's a strong start. You got one. Okay. What is the official name of the bean sculpture?
I don't care.
That is also correct. Cloud Gate. Cloud
I've
Gate.
heard that. I've heard that before. Yeah, I went there once and I was there for 5 minutes. I took a picture, then looked around, and I was like, "What else am I supposed to do? There's so many children."
Yeah. No, I think you go there and then you're supposed to like pay for an expensive brunch nearby. That's about it.
It's not even. There's a hot dog stand. I mean, that's pretty cool. Yeah,
Chicago during the summer, though.
yeah, it's lit. It's lit.
Great place.
And we don't. It's like people from they don't go to the Bean. Um, It's kind of, I don't know where, I feel like wherever you're at, you don't go to the attractions more than a couple times.
You got Fisherman's Wharf in San Francisco, which is exclusively for the tourists. So people who are
Yeah.
there can avoid the tourists. They know not to go there. So it's like kind of, nice to know, oh, I never want to touch Times Square.
I learned that about Navy Pier. Went to a New Year's Eve party in Navy Pier. Yeah, all tourists. And they ran out
Yeah.
of alcohol before midnight. I was like, oh, I'm supposed to meet friends and do other things on this day here.
That's also the
Yeah.
least Midwest Chicago thing is to run out of beer. Like you best be prepared for what kind of intake you have from your friends in the North.
They ran out of
But then
everything.
you get the beloved beer run.
Yeah, but doesn't it oh, I guess it doesn't close at 9 like a puritanical Wisconsin. That's crazy. Okay, what 1893 event in Chicago featured the unveiling of the first ever Ferris wheel?
World's Fair.
Close. Would you like to reconsider?
Fire.
Wait, sure. Wait, my God.
Before that, 1893 Ferris wheel.
Yep. First ever Ferris wheel.
The first ever Ferris wheel. The Bulls going 72-10. I don't know.
Close. It's the World's Columbian Expo. Which I think is just, if you said World Expo, I would have given it to you, because I don't know anything about this Colombian nonsense. But
Yeah.
that's it. And that's a show. So did we win? Did we have a team name? I don't know. I think we did okay.
Yeah, we gotta cement those.
Yeah. Well, Tan, thank you for playing. You have retained your black card. We did not have any Kool-Aid related questions to
Yeah, there
ruin
was nothing.
the opportunity.
That's good. It's important, especially, in these times where,
Mhm.
identity is under attack, to not just walk up and ask black dudes you don't know questions about how they make Kool-Aid. Like, you just don't do stuff like that in 2025.
Yeah, now in DEI is DOA, for sure.
Josh has stamped your black card for approval.
Thank you. I've narrowly gotten out of this interview this whole time.
I'm picturing you passing Ton his passport back, and you stamped it. It's like, all right,
Yeah.
If you and I are on our show this next run of the tour, Josh, that is somehow making it into my act. I want you to know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I'm your DEI pre-check guy, just reviewing and just okay.
Yeah. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, we got to work on some alley-oops this next time around on the tour for sure.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, for real.
You want to tell the folks anything you got coming up or where to find you?
Yeah, you can follow me pretty much anywhere I can be found at It's Ton John. So it's Ton like ton like heavy, John like everybody else spells it unless you're from Philly. And I got if you're in Chicago, look at my page. I got a couple shows coming up.
Beauty.
Awesome. Tom, thank you so much for being here. It was great to meet you.
Likewise. You guys take care.
That sounded too interviewy.
See y'all soon.
We'll be in touch.